Sometimes the people you trust the most are capable of the most unimaginable betrayal. I never thought my best friend, my confidant for years, could cross the line. But what happened when I returned home from a short trip shocked me in ways I can't even put into words. I had always trusted Jenna. We met in college, bonded over coffee and late-night study sessions, and shared secrets no one else knew. She was my closest friend, almost like a sister. I even let her house sit for me when I had to travel for work. I never thought I'd regret that decision. The trip was short, just a weekend out of town. I left her with the keys, assuming she would water the plants, feed my cat, maybe even check the mail. I never imagined that while I was away, she had her own plans. When I returned, the first thing I noticed was the smell of expensive perfume and candles I didn't recognize. Then I saw the lights on in my living room, and my heart stopped. There she was, my best friend, lounging on my brand new leather sofa with a glass of wine in her hand, wearing my clothes, eating from my fridge, and casually scrolling through my phone. Jenna, what are you doing? I shouted, my voice trembling. She looked up with a smile that felt fake, forced, as if nothing was wrong. Relax. I'm just making myself at home. You're gone, and I thought, why not enjoy it a little? At first, I laughed nervously, thinking she was joking. But when I noticed that she had rearranged furniture, hung her own pictures on my walls, and even moved some of my belongings into boxes, I realized this was no joke. This isn't funny. Jenna, this is my house, I yelled, trying to keep my composure. She shrugged. You're never here anyway. I thought you wouldn't mind if I made a few changes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My house, my sanctuary, had been transformed into her personal playground. The next hours were a blur of anger, disbelief, and shock. I asked her how she even got my documents, my keys, my personal information. She shrugged again and said she had copied the spare key I hid under the flower pot. I wanted to feel like I owned something of my own for once, she admitted casually, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. I asked her to leave. She refused. She argued, tried to manipulate me, claiming she needed a place to stay because her apartment was being renovated. But this wasn't temporary. The way she acted, she had planned this. Every move, every decision, every rearrangement in my house spoke of premeditation. I realized I had been blind. The woman I trusted completely had taken advantage of my kindness. She had crossed a line that should never be crossed. And she didn't even feel guilty. I knew I couldn't let this slide. I called the authorities, but it wasn't illegal for her to be in the house as a guest. The law couldn't help me. I was furious, trapped in my own home by someone I considered family. Over the next days, I tried to reason with her. I told her she had no right to act this way. I begged her to understand how much she had hurt me, but nothing worked. She smiled, laughed, and acted as if I were overreacting. I decided I needed a plan. I couldn't let her ruin my life or my home. I began documenting everything: pictures, videos, recordings of our conversations. I kept a journal of every lie, every manipulation, every detail that proved she was taking over my home. And then, one morning, I decided to turn the tables. I invited a few friends over for a housewarming party, pretending I was leaving for work. I left the house unlocked. When she saw the friends arrive, I watched her panic. Her calm, confident void cracked. She realized she wasn't in control anymore. My friends helped me reclaim my home. She had no choice but to leave, packing her things and trying to apologize. But the damage was done. Asterisk, it took weeks for me to feel comfortable in my own house again. I changed locks, installed cameras, and cut off contact completely. The betrayal stung, not just because of what she did to my property, but because she had violated a sacred trust. Asterisk, this experience taught me a harsh lesson. Trust is fragile, and sometimes the people we consider closest to us are the ones who can hurt us the most. Protect your space, protect your peace, and never let kindness be mistaken for weakness. Asterisk, Jenna turned my house into her own palace while I was away. But in the end, I reclaimed my home, my life, and my peace. And I hope my story reminds you to never let betrayal go unchecked. Asterisk.